Hey everybody, and welcome back. How about a nice relaxing magazine flip through? As you can see, it's pretty cold outside, so I'm rocking the hot chocolate with mini marshmallows here. We people in Alabama don't like cold weather, um, so we do what we have to do to try to cope. But we don't really have good heaters down here, so it's usually pretty frigid in our houses. But I can't think of a better way to spend a nice cold evening at home than flipping through an old August 23rd, 1954 issue of Life. I told my friend Michelle that I was going to give a shout out to her when I did this one because she's into the 50s, and I kind of wanted to dedicate at least one of my 50s magazine reviews to her. So this one's to you, and I hope you enjoyed this issue. What I just want to tell you, what drew me to buying this was where it says right here, Bill Mauldin. He's one of my favorite cartoonists, and I actually have some Bill Mauldin books. He was a famous World War II cartoonist who did the Willie and Joe characters. He kind of showed the other side of the army, the army that got rained on and everything. Here's another one. It's called Up Front, and this is a first edition from World War II. He definitely raised the ire of General Patton for doing his cartoons, and apparently General Patton had a face-to-face with him where he told him he didn't like him, and Bill Mauldin took it with his cynicism and class, and they asked him how he felt when he came out, and he said, "I came out with my hide on," which was kind of like saying that Patton didn't get to me. So you gotta give the guy credit. He was pretty tough. But anyway, so here's the cover, and it says, "Bill Mauldin beats the traffic, an amateur pilot's fun and problems, and Morocco erupts against French." And then the caption here says, "Queen's Consort in the Yukon." And that's in front of Whitehorse High School. Let's flip the page, and there is an ad for Schaefer's Pens. And on the other side, an ad for the Ethel Corporation, and what a powerful difference this high-octane gasoline makes. Okay, an ad for Banbury. And here's a nice Florsheim shoe ad. You gotta wonder if Andy Warhol did the drawings, because some of you might know that Andy Warhol started his art career by drawing shoes for ads like this. And this would have been right around the time he would have been doing that. So it's quite possible. Okay, Texaco ad. And here's an ad for the Playtex Magic Controller. Has fabric next to your skin, hidden finger panels that firm and support you for fall's slim look. And kind of a Jane Russell-y looking woman there. Speaking of pictures, Home Builder has some fun and exercise. Keating claims a real estate salesman. There's one of the articles. The Menon makes all three shave creams and get easier shaving even in the awkward zone. And I guess the awkward zone is right under his chin. It's not that awkward for me. But then again, I'm not using a 1950s razor. Here's an old ad for Cadillac, which I think is beautiful. As you know, I do love the car ads, probably the most. A John Hancock ad. Back in the 50s, I think money was probably doing better than it is now. Here's an ad for Vitalis. I guess men actually put that in their hair back then. And a crisis murky as Fez's streets. The crisis in Morocco in the 50s. And it has a bit of history about Morocco in here. And some good pictures, good photography, what you'd expect from Life magazine. This is a very, very sad picture. If you've been following my videos, you would have noticed quite a few references to the Dion quintuplets. Starting with my grandma's scrapbook review, where she had lots of newspaper clippings and some other magazines I reviewed. Well, one of them passed away. It was the first one. And the title says, "The Famous Five Are Now Four." And this is a sad and slightly graphic picture of one of the Dion Quint's in her coffin. And the four surviving ones are Cecile, Marie, Yvonne, and Annette, and they are bidding farewell to their sister Emily. And this is very sad. And I hate to already get on a down note here. Here's an ad for Chef Boyardee meatballs with gravy. Once again, the type of ad that you could pull out of the magazine and frame. Another one, an ad for Schlitz beer. It's something that look good in a guy's garage or something, you know, just a good old vintage beer ad. An article about Hoover. Dog food. Dash is fortified with liver. Here's Squirts. That soda still exists as far as I know. It's kind of a Mountain Dew 7-Up kind of thing. Citrus soda. Munsingwear Cottontails. Here's an ad for acrylion. Mother gets a treat too. These dresses are washable. A beautiful 2-page spread for Pillsbury. I wish you could see this in person because this is just some great photography and the kind of thing that just would be frameable. I mean, for old kitschy vintage ads, I mean, this is pretty good. So I just want you to get a good look at that. I really do like this ad. I mean, this is probably my favorite couple pages in the whole magazine right here. Lilt Home Permanent. I have to admit, the ads in this issue are just pretty outstanding. I mean, this is just a vintage ad treasure trove here. And this is the kind of magazine that I like to flip through. I really love looking at these old ads. A jumbo rainbow, some colored painted elephants. I'm sure the SPCA wouldn't approve of that now, but it still made an interesting photograph. I pretty much am consistent with the opinion that animals shouldn't be mistreated, and that includes being painted. But then again, you know, it's an interesting photograph, historical photograph, nonetheless. Just beautiful ads, full color. This Ford ad just blows me away. The pink Ford here, I mean, this pink Skyliner next to this blue Tudor. The colors they had back then. My grandfather actually at one point owned a pink Cadillac. I guess that was kind of a fad back in the 50s. Lively cars and lively gas call for lively plugs. AC spark plugs. Now, someday when I have my dream garage, I'm going to remember these ads and I'm going to frame them and hang some of these old car ads up, and along with some of the old beer ads, while I'm working on my 68 Impala that I don't own yet. Just a dream. Well, I hope you all are enjoying this as much as I'm enjoying flipping through it. This is Michael Feinstein singing Funny Face, in case you're wondering. A great Pabst Blue Ribbon, PBR. Very popular beer down here in Alabama. That Natty Light, Natural Light are very often consumed down here. You're now listening to Connie Evanson, Where Can I Go Without You? From her album Fever, a tribute to Peggy Lee. Nighty Nights, thread for thread, dollar for dollar is your best buy. Another great car ad. Another pink car, incidentally. Back to School with Roy Rogers. Very popular figure back in the 50s. California Frozen Lemonade. Mercury. I love that seafoam green paint job that was very common and popular back in the 50s. Carlene's Ale. I'm not familiar with that beer. I don't think it lasted very long. And there's a car battery ad. Sanford Ice, $15 down to the drain. It's an ad for protects against shrinkage. I guess that's Sanford Ice detergent, I want to say. RC Cola. Jack and Jill clothes. Another great cake ad. What is with these awesome cake ads? And they just make me want to buy some cake, even though, I mean, this is a long time ago. But it sure looks just scrumptious, for lack of a better word. Great vintage Pepsi ad. Just take a look at that. Beau Crimmel keeps hair in place all day long. And toothbrushes. In case you wonder what toothbrushes looked like in the 50s. Funny that she would stop here on an ad about puppies. Hey, Fiona. Fiona just thought she'd say hi. She says, it's been a while since I've been in one of your videos. Great. Kellogg's Variety Pack cereal ad. Actually, I have the old commercial that kind of goes with this ad. I collect old commercials as well. Which, they're actually pretty easy to get. You can buy DVDs with hundreds of old commercials on them. So if you ever get in the mood to see what television looked like back then, a good way is to look at the commercials. This reminds me, in the last life where we looked at that grocery store 2-page thing, and here's an airport one, or a traffic one, talking about flying versus being caught in traffic. So that, I'm sure that was the same artist. And a truck driver enjoys a coffee break. Gordon's Distilled London Dry Gin. There's no gin like Gordon's. You know, I don't like the taste of gin. I just don't. It tastes like some kind of cleaner. I'm just not a gin kind of guy. I'm not really much of a drinking guy, you know. But I don't really like the taste of gin. Union Oil Company. It tastes like pine needles. That's what my mom always said. She said gin tastes like pine needles. I hope you're enjoying this. You know, I really do, actually, not just for the videos, but I do enjoy spending a few minutes of an evening doing this on my own time. I just like to listen to some soothing big band or old music, and I like to just flip through an old vintage magazine. It's something I really like to do. Patty Page. She was the singing rage. You're now listening to Tony Bennett singing When the Sun Comes Out. Old Crow. Alright. And here's the back ad for Camel cigarettes. Alright, well, Michelle, this one was to you, and I hope everyone else who watched it enjoyed it. And this sure was a nice, soothing flip through, I have to say so myself. Get a little bit of hot chocolate here. Ah, perfect. Okay, well, stay warm. We're getting into winter, and have a good evening.